Hello everyone, today, we will explore an interesting and meaningful topic about fishing, a traditional profession that has existed for thousands of years. Brings great economic value and is a cultural symbol of Japan. Let's learn about the lives of Japanese fishermen, the challenges they face at sea, and the remarkable development of the fishing industry in this country. Let's start this exciting journey. Japan is one of the countries with a culture deeply attached to the sea. With a coastline of more than 29.00 kilometers and a geographical location surrounded by the ocean. Fishing has been formed and developed in Japan since prehistoric times. Fishing in Japan originated in the Jomon period, 1400 to 300 BC, when people began to use primitive tools such as spears, stone and bone hooks to hunt fish. Over thousands of years, fishing techniques have been constantly improved, from the use of primitive nets to modern tools today. Fish is not only a main source of food but also an indispensable part of traditional rituals and beliefs. Dishes such as sushi, sashimi, and grilled fish have become world-famous culinary symbols. Japanese fishermen are known for their diligence, solidarity, and endurance against the harsh conditions of the sea. A fisherman's workday usually begins very early. Before dawn, they have to face the waves, unpredictable weather and the risks of accidents at sea. The fishermen's families are often closely connected to the sea. While the men go out to sea, the women at home are often in charge of processing, preserving and selling the catch. Fishing nets are one of the most traditional and popular tools used by Japanese fishermen. Purse-seine nets, used to catch fish such as tuna and sardines. Trawl nets, highly effective in harvesting fish from the seabed. Gill nets, a simple but very useful net for catching small fish. Today, the Japanese fishing industry has adopted modern technology such as sonar and GPS to increase fishing efficiency. The fishing industry plays an important role in driving Japan's economy, especially in coastal areas. Japanese fishermen catch about 3 to 4 million tons of fish each year, ranking high in the world in terms of catch. Fish and fish products such as tuna, salmon, and lobster are major exports, bringing in billions of dollars each year. Although Japan is a leader in many aspects, countries such as Norway, Iceland, the United States, and China also have their own strengths in the fishing industry. Japan, focus on product quality and value. Norway and Iceland, focus on conservation of fishery resources. China, leading in fishing output. Japan has adopted many measures such as catch limits and protection of special sea areas to ensure long-term fish resources. The fishing industry in Japan is not limited to exploitation but also includes processing and research and development activities. Japan has the most modern port and fishing vessel system in the world. Fish processing plants in Japan use advanced freezing technology to ensure the freshness of products. Japan's fishing industry is facing many challenges, from climate change, declining fishery resources, to international competition. Rising sea temperatures and ocean acidification have significantly affected fish species. Japan is investing heavily in research and development of aquaculture technologies, as well as measures to protect the marine environment. The fishing industry has not only had a major impact on the economy, but has also shaped Japanese society for generations. More than 300,000 people in Japan are directly involved in the fishing industry. From fishermen to factory workers. Hundreds of thousands of indirect jobs are also created in related sectors such as transportation, services, and exports. Japan's coastal fishing villages have long been resilient communities. Festivals such as the Terio Matsuri, Big Fish Festival, are not only an occasion to celebrate a bumper catch, but also an opportunity to strengthen neighborhood ties. Japan's maritime vocational schools not only teach skills, but also impart cultural values and a spirit of respect for nature and the sea to the younger generation. With the development of technology, the fishing industry in Japan has changed dramatically in applying modern equipment to optimize processes and minimize environmental impacts. Positioning and radar systems help fishermen accurately identify large schools of fish within hundreds of kilometers. Water temperature sensors allow to determine the ideal habitat of fish species. Fishing support robots used to pull nets and process fish directly on the boat. Ultra-fast freezing technology keeps fish fresh immediately after catching, suitable for high-end export markets. Automatic processing reduces waste and increases labor productivity in factories, using self-destructing fishing nets to reduce plastic waste at sea. Developing fishing vessels powered by clean energy such as electricity or solar energy. Japan has been facing major problems in balancing fishing output and protecting marine ecosystems. This has led to a number of new policies and initiatives to ensure that the fishing industry can develop sustainably. Japan applies a quota management model, in which each fishing vessel is only allowed to catch a certain amount of fish each year, depending on the species and the area. Species such as bluefin tuna and some species of red snapper have been listed as protected. With strict regulations on size and fishing season, Japan regularly cooperates with international organizations such as FAO and ICCAT to protect fishery resources globally. In parallel with fishing, Japan invests heavily in modern fish farms, helping to reduce pressure on natural resources and provide high-quality products. Japan has 4 main sea areas with different ecological characteristics and fishery resources. Each of which brings its own opportunities and challenges to fishermen. This is a rich sea area with fish species such as sardines, cod and snow crab. This area is often exploited by small and medium-sized vessels. The largest fishing area, where modern fishing vessels focus on hunting tuna, mackerel and salmon, suitable for catching groundfish and aquaculture such as clams and oysters. Famous for high-end seafood such as king crab and sea urchin. But fishermen here face harsh weather conditions. With global challenges such as climate change, environmental pollution and increasing food demand, Japan is setting big goals for the future of the fishing industry. The Japanese government invests heavily in oceanographic research institutes to find solutions to protect and regenerate fish resources. Japan encourages the younger generation to participate in the fishing industry through scholarship programs and financial support. Use equipment that minimizes the impact on the ecosystem. Establish marine conservation areas and restrict exploitation. Japan aims to become the world's leading supplier of sustainable seafood, meeting strict environmental and quality standards. The fishing industry in Japan, while an integral part of the economy and culture, also has a significant impact on the marine environment. In this section, we will explore environmental issues, as well as efforts to reduce the impact of the industry. Overfishing pressure. The continuous fishing of high-value fish such as tuna and mackerel has significantly reduced fish populations in some areas. Ecological imbalance. Some small fish, which are food for larger fish, are also overfished, affecting the entire food chain in the marine ecosystem. Plastic waste, fishing nets left at sea form, ghost nets, which are harmful to marine life such as whales, sea turtles, and seabirds. Oil and fuel leaks from fishing vessels can pollute the water environment, especially in coastal areas. Rising sea temperatures change the habitat of many fish species, forcing fishermen to travel further to find fish. Rising sea levels make it difficult for coastal fishing communities to maintain their livelihoods. Japan is one of the leading countries in applying measures to protect the marine environment and develop sustainable fishing. Biodegradable fishing nets reduce plastic waste at sea. Renewable energy fishing vessels use electricity and solar energy to reduce carbon emissions. Japan enforces strict regulations on catch quotas, with close monitoring to ensure that limits are not exceeded. Areas such as the Seto Inland Sea National Park are established to protect rare fish species and maintain marine ecosystems. Japan participates in international agreements such as the Paris Agreement on Climate Change and ocean conservation organizations to coordinate the conservation of fisheries resources. Scale: Japan focuses more on artisanal and small-scale fishing in nearshore waters, while the US has a modern offshore fishing fleet. Technology: both countries are high-tech, but the US is at the forefront of developing automated fishing vessels. Resource management: Japan has a long tradition of fisheries resource management, while the US focuses on conservation areas and fish regeneration technology. Cod fishing: Norway is the world's leading producer of cod, while Japan focuses on specialty fish species such as tuna and salmon. Aquaculture: Norway is strong in this area, especially salmon, while Japan still prioritizes wild-caught fish. Fishing. 15.3. Japan and China. Output: China leads the world in seafood production, but Japanese products are considered to be of higher quality due to strict standards. Environmental impact: Japan focuses on sustainability, while China is often criticized for overfishing. Japanese fish dishes such as sushi and sashimi are increasingly popular around the world. Boosting seafood exports: Japan has to compete with countries such as China, Norway, and Chile in supplying seafood products. Japan is focusing on biotechnology research to increase aquaculture productivity, reducing pressure on wild fish stocks. One way to better understand the fishing industry is to hear the stories of the fishermen themselves, the people who face the sea every day. Hiroshi, 67, who lives in a small fishing village in Miyagi Prefecture, has been fishing since he was a teenager. He shared, "Every trip to sea is a challenge. The strong winds and waves not only test the strength of the boat but also the patience of the fisherman. But coming back with a full hold of fish always gives a sense of victory." Hiroshi emphasized that although the work has become increasingly difficult due to the decline in fish stocks, he is proud to have contributed to maintaining the family tradition. Aiko, 42, is one of the few women in the fishing industry in Hokkaido Prefecture. She works on a tuna fishing boat and faced skeptical looks from her male colleagues in the early days. "They thought I would give up after a few days, but I proved that women can be as steady and strong as anyone." Aiko is now one of the key members of the ship, in charge of operating the machinery and handling the fish when the ship docks. In 2011, the earthquake and tsunami devastated many fishing villages in Japan. However, the fishermen united to rebuild their lives. Kenji Fukuda, a fisherman in Fukushima Prefecture, shared, "The loss was inevitable, but we could not stop. Together we rebuilt our boats, our nets, and our spirit." These stories not only show the resilience of Japanese fishermen, but also highlight their strong will and belief in the profession. Japan has shown the world that, for an industry to develop sustainably, protecting the environment and resources is a prerequisite. The combination of traditional fishing techniques and modern technology is what helps the Japanese fishing industry reach international stature. Japan focuses on training the younger generation, not only in fishing skills but also in awareness of protecting the ocean. This ensures that the fishing industry will continue to be inherited and developed in the future. The Japanese fishing industry is a clear demonstration of the connection between people and nature. The waves of the ocean not only provide a source of livelihood but also foster the resilient spirit of those who depend on the ocean. Despite facing many challenges, from climate change declining resources, to global competition, the Japanese fishing industry has maintained its leading position thanks to the balance between tradition and innovation. Closing greeting, today's video hopefully gave you an insight into the fishing industry in Japan. An industry that not only contributes greatly to the economy but also represents the unique spirit and culture of this country. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out on other interesting content. See you in the next videos. The Japanese fishing industry could not exist and develop without the tireless dedication of fishermen. They are people who are willing to face dangers and challenges to bring valuable food sources not only to the Japanese people but also to the world. We need to honor their contributions and at the same time understand that fishing is not just a job, but also a part of culture, a symbol of resilience and strong will. The future of the Japanese fishing industry depends on training and attracting the younger generation to participate. Education and internship programs are increasingly expanding, creating opportunities for young people to access fishing. From modern techniques to environmental awareness, Japan has been investing heavily in advanced technologies to minimize environmental impacts. Ensuring that the sea will continue to be a source of life for future generations. Models such as AI-based fishing, zero-emission fishing vessels, and strict management of catch quotas promise to lead the industry to a sustainable future. This video not only introduces the Japanese fishing industry, but also conveys an important message about protecting the marine environment, respecting natural resources, and preserving traditions. We are living in an era where the relationship between humans and nature needs to be carefully considered. Our actions today not only affect the present, but also determine the future of future generations. Thank you for watching the entire video. Japan, with its unique and distinctive fishing industry, is not only a powerhouse in the field but also an example of how to combine tradition and innovation. Rising sea temperatures are affecting fish habitats, leading to changes in migration behavior and fish numbers. More frequent typhoons are occurring, making going out to sea more dangerous and difficult. International competition. Other countries such as China and South Korea are also investing heavily in fishing technology, creating great competitive pressure. The fish export market is increasingly demanding higher standards, from quality to compliance with environmental regulations. Labor resources. The workforce in this profession is decreasing as young people are no longer interested in fishing. Fish helps optimize output without damaging the ecosystem. Smart and zero-emission fishing vessels are opening up new directions for industry. Global demand is rising. Seafood, especially fish, continues to be an important source of protein for the world. This opens up great opportunities for the Japanese fish export industry. Investing in marine conservation and tourism. Traditional fishing villages can develop ecotourism, attracting visitors to learn about the culture and participate in experiential fishing activities. If you need more details or development from here, please let me know so I can expand each section or add new content.